So I've got this idea for a movie. Okay, go ahead, pitch it to me. Okay, there's this pill, and it gives people a superpower, but only for 5 minutes. And it'll take place in New Orleans, and there'll be a bunch of references to the Saints for some reason, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with the movie. Oh, and all the characters, they're gonna be vanilla and boring, and we're gonna have a bunch of, unnecessary subplots. Plus, we're gonna have like 4 different villains who are all completely useless, but they all wanna harness the power of the pills so they can make a bunch of money because corporations are bad and stuff. Okay, I'm writing you a check for $85 million. Any idea what you wanna call it? Project Power. Thank you so much for checking out the review. Before we get started, click on that red subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you know whenever I post a new video. Every time I think about this movie, which I assure you is not very often, I always forget what it's called. Project Power, Power Project, Power Pill, Pill Power. I feel like any combination of these words would adequately describe this film. Project Power is a brainless, idiotic action movie that looks really nice, but aside from its goofy premise, has approximately 0 new ideas and isn't even able to justify its own existence. Some light spoilers are incoming, so you've been warned. The movie opens with your typical mustache-twirling villain bad guy giving a bunch of New Orleans street-level drug dealers fancy pills. Instead of just giving them, like a bottle of pills, they get these fancy looking boxes that each contain 1 pill. So if you're trying to make money off of this venture, this seems like a massive waste of money and time. Pill bottles next time, dude. Pill bottles. If some of this isn't quite on the nose enough for you, the drug is called, you guessed it, power. Dominique Fishback plays Robin, a young girl who becomes a dealer for noble reasons, and she gets tied up with Art, played by Jamie Foxx. Art's daughter has been kidnapped by the bad guys, and he obviously wants to get her back. Throw in NOPD Detective Frank, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and you've got an interesting mishmash of personalities with different reasons for fighting against the bad people. As for performances, everyone here is good enough. Fishback is fine, Gordon-Levitt is fine. Jamie Foxx won an Oscar for his performance in Ray. He will not win an Academy Award for his performance in Pill Project. Wait, Project Power? Art is about as stock of an action hero as you can possibly get, even if his relationship with Robin does seem warm and genuine. From a visual effects standpoint, this is an extremely good-looking movie when it wants to be. Stylistically, however, the movie has some big problems, and the biggest one is a fairly common one these days. The directing, choreography, and editing of every single scene is beyond chaotic. Is it really that hard to have the cameraman stand in one place for longer than 3 seconds? While it doesn't necessarily hurt the action sequences, it makes all of the quiet moments feel herky-jerky and unfocused. Don't get me wrong, Michael Bay made some great movies. The Rock, love it. But not everything needs to mimic his style in order to be cool. If you're looking for a 2-hour-ish action movie in the vein of something like Bloodshot, very comic booky, then I suppose you'll like this thing. The problem is the movie simply isn't nearly as deep, fun, clever, or good as it thinks it is. Netflix continues to spend an awful lot of money on films like Project Power and The Old Guard, films that desperately want to be more than the sum of their parts. I understand and appreciate that they want to make popcorn flicks that add value to the platform, but until they start bringing in top-tier filmmaking talent to do it, we're going to keep getting movies that bring nothing new to the table. Nothing about this movie will or should surprise you. Thank you so much for checking out the review. It really does mean a lot. If you enjoyed it, click on that red subscribe button. You can also like and share the video since that really helps the channel grow too. Sound off down in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of Project Power. I'll see you next Wednesday at 9 a.m.